Hey guys! So, first of all, I've been kinda sick, so instead of going to that video that I want to do, reviewing your favorites, I kinda want to put my thoughts back in order and fix things in life, and so I'm gonna skip that one now. I swear it's still coming, but as you've seen from the title, this is a library tour because Steve said so, and I just want to enter the fan, okay? By Steve, I mean Steve Mcneil, doing his own library tour. You guys know that I love him. I love watching him. I love watching Eleven. Usually, when they do things, I'm just there and doing my thing because I'm. This is me. Anyway, I wanted to do mine too, but you guys know that this is a little bit of a mess, and I do not have all the books that I wanted to have in my collection, especially the physical one. You guys know that these three shelves are books that I've read. That one is books that I have to read. There are some books that I have read in the bottom, but not that much. And this is a mix of, this is romance, but there's some here that I have read. What I thought to do was leave the romance shelf to a completely different part of the library tour. Go through the shelves of books that I have read. There are three, but they basically make four because this one is double stacked, so I'm gonna count like four. And do show this one. Just at this moment, I'm gonna go through this particular shelf and do videos for the other ones. And as I read the books from there, and they came to this part, when I have like a shelf worth of content, I will do an update. Because lots of books that are there I'm gonna read. But, I mean, I'm gonna read all of those books, but lots of them I'm not gonna keep. Because I only keep the ones that I know I'm gonna go back to or I need because XYZ reason. So, yeah. Again, I'm gonna go, I want to say that I'm going to make this video quick, but it's almost 3 minutes now. I will try to be as quick as possible, so instead of being me trying to tell the story of the books, I think you don't go to the library tour to know exactly what all the books are about and all of the synopsis and details. You go there more like, why does that person have that book? Why she, he, them, whatever loves them. So I'm basically gonna say why I keep them and not going to much detail because this is me. I forget names and dates and all of that, just names of characters and places and wherever the setting is, the year. Like, it goes off my head pretty quickly. I know the whole story, but the names are blank. So, yeah. Quickly, try to take off the ones that are jammed on top. So we can start on those ones. This one is the reason why I like the Incuns, and it's the good guy. I said that I was not gonna say the story, but I need to say a little bit something. On this particular one, there is a guy, I think he works on the bar or something of the kind, and by accident he finds out that a guy that he meets there, I think he goes there to have a drink, is supposed to have been hired to kill a woman, and that person does the very logical thing of trying to stop the dude from killing that person. Not police, not it just, I mean, there is a little bit, but he gets hands on, and this is just fun. This is the type of book you turn your brain off and you enjoy. You just go along the ride. I actually have lots of I put lots of little post-its everywhere. Okay, that's a booty. I drew a booty because they were talking about booties. I put post-its everywhere because I was to send this to a person, but this copy is just really old at the moment. And I'm not sure if this is the best book for that person. And I just kept it. And yeah, but this is lots of fun, and this is a book that made me start reading Dinkins. Then I have a little book of poetry. It's Portuguese, so it doesn't have a translation in English. In Portuguese, it is called Uma Palavra Solta, but in English, the vague translation of the title will be A Loose Word, and it's by Maria Portugal. Just a little book of poetries, nothing special or anything. I mean, it is special. I keep it. I liked some of the poems in there. It's not, how to say it, it's not that deep poetry, like very thick, if you know what I mean. It was cute. Anyway, next book. I talked about this on the non-fiction November book. It's a non-fiction for kids that I found out it's really old, really made up copy, but I love it, about this bird that I already forgot how it's called in English, but in Portuguese it's tordo. Tordo, exactly. And I loved it. I loved the illustrations. It's just so adorably cute, and I had to keep it. And this one I also talked about on this channel, and it is The Secret World of Polly Flint by Helen Cresswell, illustrated by Cheryl Feltz. This is not the most amazing middle grade that I have read, but it has things that I particularly like about it has illustrations that I like, not because of the faces, but because of like the background, and it has that feel of children doing stuff in the woods that I like, so I had to keep it. This one I have already also talked here, so I'm gonna try to be quick about it. How is this one called in English? Dear Lord, I forgot. I know that it's a really The Good Earth, Pearl S book. This is the copy, same edition that I read from the library on this edition, and I wanted this and I found it, and it's all old and crinkly, but I love it. I really enjoy it. This is the second book by her that I read that made me, the first one that I read was The Mother, and both The Mother and this one are like my favorites I have read of her so far. I just love it. I am to continue reading this trilogy because I stopped because I read so much of her in one go that I needed to do a little break. But I am gonna continue with this trilogy pretty soon. This one I'm pretty sure I already talked here too. It's The Hours by David. There's no David in his name. Michael Cunningham. And I think I already told you a lot about this book, if I'm not mistaken, because this was one of the books that made me appreciate Virginia Woolf, because it follows the same thing that Miss Dalloway does, that she, on that particular book, Miss Dalloway, it follows Miss Dalloway and some other characters in the span of a day, and this one follows three characters, three women, in different timelines, and one of them is Virginia Woolf herself, and they all connected in a way at the end. And when I read this, I had read Miss Dalloway like years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, and back then I knew that part of it had just like flew past my head. Then I read it again, and I saw this book. I read it and I liked it more, but I wasn't still completely like sold on it. Then I saw this book, got it, read it, loved it, got back to Miss Dalloway, reread it like in same month or just like 1 month apart, and I got it. It just completely made me get it. Everything is just like, okay, I love this now. I understand why people like Virginia Woolf. Then I started reading other things by her, and I was like, I totally understand now. I am converted, and she's a queen. So yeah, the hours. This one I already talked about. It is the uh, General History of Pirates. This is the Portuguese version by Captain Johnson. So non-fiction about pirates and their piratey ways. And yeah, and this cover that I kind of like how minimal it is, but I hate this format because it's just the covers are really, it doesn't bend, but the rest of the book bend, and this is heavy. If I hit someone with a tip on the right place on the head, I will kill a person with this book, and it doesn't look like it, but I will. So I have a hate relationship with this book. I think I told you on nonfiction. I will not go there. Next one are interconnected, and this is the box set of Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children. This is the first trilogy. This was a gift from my friends that I just love, and I'm gonna keep this forever. And it is, first one is Miss Peregrine Home for Peculiar Children, then it's Hollow City, then it's the Library of Souls. And they get worse as they go. I have the fourth one. I'm dreading to read the second trilogy. But I just love the concept, because they have pictures. I mean, can I get one out to show you? I mean, probably you guys already know this, but hey ho, it also has a postcard with the characters, but it has old pictures in between the story, because lots of these characters come from that time, and basically the author found out all of these awesome old pictures and made a story with them. And I think that more than loving the story itself, I like the concept of it. Even though there's good parts of the story, there's good characters. I enjoyed the first one, was my favorite. The second one I also liked the Hades moment, and like the third one I was like, well, this is what happens with YA, but anyway, still love this. And the next one is connected because it's the Tales of the Peculiar. The Tales of the Peculiar. They're both by Ransom Riggs. I think I didn't said that. This one. This is written by Ransom Riggs. Riggs. Oh, why am I getting out of here? Anyway, all of them are by Ransom Riggs, and this is the books that the Peculiars on the trilogy read, or at least not this. This is not everything. These are some of the tales that they read, because the books that they have are really, really big, and they are somewhat morbid, and I love it. And they have beautiful black and white illustrations, and also, I mean, the whole book is beautiful. I mean, gold foil. This is cloth bound. This is just a luxury. I mean, this and papers, like, talk about a good product. It had. I don't think you guys can see the mark. I think you guys can see. They decided that it was a good idea to put a big sticker here on cloth. It of course stained, even though I take it off immediately. Anyway, I hate that, but it is what it is. Now I'm gonna start taking off and putting them on again, because I'm about here with books. And this is I'm not gonna keep piling it up. The next one, it is a very old copy of Thorizon of the Apes, in Portuguese, also reinforced with duct tape, a la Steve's method. But yeah, I had to have it. I saw it in one old secondhand store. I saw this. It is a little bit bent. It is a little bit old, but I really loved reading Tarzan. It's one of those things that you just read and you, again, turn off your brain and enjoy and go with it the fun way. I really, really enjoyed it. I there is more books by Edgar Rice Burroughs that I need to read and finish Tarzan books also. I have so much to read because I really want to finish this because I was enjoying myself. I don't know how many on the Tarzan series I have read so far. I need to go check. This one, I think I've talked about this one on the channel too. This is Boreal Rights by Hannah Kent, and this is a fictionalized account of the last person being sentenced to death in Norway, Iceland, North. So the last person being sentenced to death in Iceland, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it is the story of a girl that was found guilty of killing a man, and what happened. I mean, it's a little bit brutal. Not the most fast-paced book, but I really enjoyed it. I was so into it while I was reading, so I have to keep it because I know I will get back to it eventually. This one, of course I have to keep it. It was also a gift at the time. And it is Longbourn by Joe Baker. Yeah, so Pride and Prejudice, but with the servants of the Bennet house. And I love this so much. I really enjoyed it. I don't have a Pride and Prejudice copy because I want to find one in English, but I really enjoyed this. It was one of those books that I just kept going. I mean, I took my time reading it. I read it slowly on purpose, so I had a little bit to read every night, and I would go to it like really happy. Let's see what is gonna happen next. It was just so much fun and so well made, and you see the characters, the bandits and all of that. You see that the story of that unfolding on the background. It's just, I just loved it. These two are connected in a way because one of them is Dan Simmons' The Terror, and the other one is Frozen in Time, The Fate of the Franklin Expedition by Owen Beatty and John Geiger. So basically a non-fiction and a fiction about the same thing. The Franklin Expedition, trying to find the Northwest Passage. Is that how you say it, right? Northwest Passage. I'm sorry, but in English, west and east is really close to each other. How it sounds, and I keep switching them. But yeah, so basically a fictional, non-fiction, and I love them both. And actually, I want to read more about this event, other books. If you guys have any suggestions, do let me know, because I don't know many books about it. So let me know. Also this, I love this so much. I loved how it was faithful, but on what we know, but it opened so many doors that I wasn't expecting. It went so many ways that I was like, whoa, why would, how, I mean, I'm all for it. I just loved it. What's next? Okay, I think those next two, I have talked here about it. One is Necropolis, London and its Death by Catherine Arnold. So basically talking about how London manages the corpses of people that die there, what happened on the cemeteries, how they dispose of bodies, when things go wrong, when things go right, the attitude about it, all of that through all the centuries, all the data that we have, and it's so well written. You will just go with the flow on this book. I really love it. I cannot recommend this more. This is a really good book. And another one is one that, if you follow me on Goodreads, you know how I have been on a kind of a how to say, I've been reading a lot of this type of books lately, and this is Servants, a downstairs view of the 20th century Britain by Lucy Lethbridge. So, servants, books about servants, I love it. I love this book. I have another one somewhere. They should be together, but since I do intend on moving, and this is not going to be my shelves forever, I'm not stressing too much about it, but they should be together. Anyway, Levitt accounts, it has pictures of servants in the middle, has that insert of pictures in the middle with different servants, so you can see the who they were, give some faces and see. I know that this is petty, but I love to see how they dressed, the difference through time, but I really love to see how everyone's dressed through time, so that's a thing. Next one. Have I talked about this one on the channel? I'm not completely sure. This is The Doll Factory by Elizabeth Mcneil. Really enjoyed it. It was not like, how to say, I had moments here that was a little bit, tad bit too much, but I still love it. I still want to reread it. This is basically about a girl that kind of falls in love with one of the artists, the painters from the pre-Raphaelist movement, and there's a lot more happening. There's the Great Exposition. There's an artist here that does things. It is a cruel book. By all means, a lot happens. You cannot go into this not expecting some blur and gore and violence of all kind. It is really something. But it's one of those books that goes into Victorian London. It's Victorian, right? And again, I see the thing. I think I'm okay. 1815. Of course, Great Exposition. Anyway, brain fart moment. Anyway, instead of going like I like books about like the dukes and the debutantes and the balls and whatever, but I also really love the books of people that are about people that are either servants like you saw, or the scum of that time, that the petty thieves, the prostitutes, the scum of the I said this, I kinda don't like the scum, the word scum, but you guys know, the lower stratus of society. Let's put it like this. Words aren't hard. Anyway, really enjoyed this. Again, really violent. One of the times that I went, I think it was last time that I went to England, I was on Lisbon airport. No, I was coming from England. I was on one of the London airports. There was a lady there reading this book, another lady. She was just starting, and I just wanted to be like, prepare yourself, that's gonna be a dizzy. But I didn't know the lady, and that would just be strange. This one, I'm pretty sure that I have talked about it. Thing is, I'm not gonna know the title of this in English because, yeah, this was a German book, but I'm gonna call it The Secret Life of Trees. I'm not sure. I don't think it's exactly that in English. It's by Peter Wolben. I'm just putting there. In Portuguese, the title is literally The Secret Life of Trees, and this is basically showing some, it's non-fiction, of course, showing some light about things about trees that we don't know. The fact that they communicate with themselves, that there's a whole network, they help each other, they take care of their young in a way that is not exactly the way that animals do, but they still do it. They take care of each other like neighbors. They communicate. It's so much more, and I really enjoy this. It's not how to say, it can get a little bit tedious if you don't particularly really like trees and all of this topic. But still, I really enjoyed it. I know I will be back to it. So it's still here. I need to speed it up because we still have all of this. This one, it's Fingers Made by Sarah Waters. This is one that you guys know. I mean, on BookTube, people talked about this enough. I just love this. I watched the miniseries before reading it, and then I loved it so much that I got the book, and then I still remember the miniseries so well that I was like, no, I'm gonna forget the miniseries and then read the book. And I think I read this on the past year, I think. I still knew a little bit of what was gonna happen, but I didn't knew like the details, and I was so glad I did that because I enjoyed and had all the surprises again. I really love this book so much. So yeah, I had to keep it. I want to read more of Sarah Waters, and I know that there's another book there of her, but I really need to get to it because she doesn't have that many books out already. This one, it's The Name of the Rose by Umberto Eco. This is the Portuguese version of it. And I need to reread this, first of all. But this one has a story because I watched the movie first, but I watched it when I was in school. And you may be like, weren't you a little bit too young? Because I was like, not even on high school when I watched it. It was before high school, like 1 or 2 years before, probably 1 year before. I don't know exactly what you guys on the English speaking world would call that year, but yeah, 1 year before high school. Our history teacher made us watch the movie. Everyone was so bored. I loved it. I loved it so much that as soon as I knew that I could understand enough of the book to read it, I got it and I read it and I love it. And I know that lots of it just passed over me like that, but I need to reread it now that I think that I know even more about the topics. So this is one that I have to reread. Not sure if I'm gonna get it to this year because I want to really make a dent on that shelf this year. But it's a thing that needs to happen. And to be honest, I think what fascinated me so much about this history, besides the whole mystery, was the fact that there was so many, how to say, there is and there was and there will always be so many versions of Christianity, and how many different monks and different ways that people use the texts, and they create all of those different categories of Christians and how they see punishment, how they see everything. And what fascinated me about this particular book is that it's passed on a time where we don't particularly think about that difference, but it was, I mean, at least me, when I look at the past, I see lots of Christian people or followers of God and all of that as a blob. But this showed that it was so diverse. So many different monks, different ways of interpreting things. So many discussions, so many interesting discussions about the topic. It was like the first time that I understood that it was like that. There was always this amount of different people and different views that it kind of blew me away when I watched the movie. And I think that was what I think that's why we watched the movie, to see that there was different types of monks, different types of followers. The words are escaping me. You guys know what I mean. And I love that. I just completely love it. And I need to be honest, read more non-fiction books about this era of when the story is past and get a little bit more of the history before I read it, so I can take even more from the book next time, because I just enjoyed it so much. I just loved it, and I loved it when like half of it went over my head. So I'm bound to love it even more when at least I understand 2/3 of it. We are going there. This is gonna be a big one, but hey. Next one is The Linen Bird. I'm pretty sure that's how it's called. Yes, The Linen Bird by Lynn Hellman. This is like The Doll Factory. This is one of heavy. It is historical fiction about a girl that was really early sold for prostitution. And everything bad happens on this book, basically. But it was such a ride. I couldn't put it down. Yeah, I'm a sucker for those books too, where everything that could go wrong goes wrong, and this is just one of those books, basically one of those books, and I loved it. This tree, this is all old versions of books by Julia Diniz, a Portuguese author. One, it's the Poetries. The one is An English Family. I know it's literally called like that in Portuguese, and I know that's how the English translation is called. But the other one, it's like the pupils of the priest, or like the students or the followers of the priest. I don't think that this one has an English translation, to be honest. It's basically about two girls that are students of a certain two boys. There are two girls, but the two boys. I need to reread this one, to be honest, because I forgot if were them. I think the boys were the ones that were actually the students of said priest, because they were the girls. I think were not in school, but they were also associated with the priest because he helped them. I think it was like that. But I need to reread this one. But basically, Portuguese author. I don't have much to tell you right now. Like I told you, I need to read even more of Portuguese authors and then do a whole video about it. I know I've been promising this since I started the goddamn YouTube channel, but it's gonna happen. This is a fifth of the Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. So the first fifth of the book. This is an illustrated one with beautiful cross-hatching old illustrations. So yeah, I read the fifth of Les Mis. I have the rest of it to read. So yeah, this is a pagan book. This is a pagan almanac that goes through the years and talks about druidic beliefs. So nothing much to say about this. And to finish it, the books by my beloved Diana Setterfield. Diane Setterfield? Yep. So you have the 13th Tale, the Bellman and Black, and Once Upon a River. And I mean, I love them all so much. I gotta tell you that I got the 13th Tale and Bellman, and I can show you the covers. I got the 13th Tale and Bellman and Black because it was a whim, basically. I saw that they were really cheap ones on Book Depository. I got them, didn't read them for a while. Then I read the 13th Tale first and loved it. And then I read Bellman and Black. That's about the funerary industry in Victorian times, and I loved it even more. And then this one came out and I had to get it. I got it a little bit later than I wanted, but I read it. I got it, and then I was like dreading to read it for some reason. And I read it, and I love it. I love it to pieces. And so yeah, I don't know, there's something about her books that feels like a warm embrace. Does this make sense? Does this even make sense? It's literally how her books make me feel like. It's like a warm embrace. I can just lose my time on her books. I think I talked about Once Upon a River, but I need to talk about the other ones more. And I will save that for maybe a favorite video. So this is this shelf. This is going to be a big video. I am sorry. I know I wasn't perfectly quick, but yeah, we have 3 more to go. I'm not going to do this every week. I'm going to do... I need to do the reviews that I told you I was going to do. So this one, it's going to be 1 week, 2 weeks or so before I get to the next one. It's gonna be in increments. We're gonna make it last, and by the time we finish the next 3 videos, because this shelf is gonna be 2 videos, I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be already the next one, because you see this is the beginnings of the next shelf of books to keep. So yeah, it's gonna happen. And yeah, if you guys have any opinions on the books that I showed, if you know more books about the topics of the non-fiction books that I showed that you want me to read, please leave everything on the comments, because I want to know. I really so much want to know, because I want to read everything. And that's all for now, guys. Bye!